What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so yesterday I made a video talking about the fact that Joe Gallagher and Callum Smith had turned down the offer made by Frank Warren for a showdown between Smith and Billy Joe Saunders, a unification showdown, two world champions, both unbeaten. I also said in the video, what's the point of Frank Warren making these offers if they're not substantial, right? It's all well and good going on shows like Boxing Social and IFL TV saying, I've made an offer. But if the offer isn't substantial, what's the point? And I said that because I was led to believe that the offer wasn't substantial because of what Joe Gallagher said in that little clip. It's not enough money for the recognized #1 super middleweight to go onto another platform. So in my eyes, I have to be honest with you, I thought the offer was around £500,000. I thought that was the offer, £500,000. And I was like, you know what? Maybe they do need to up it. Although I did say that Callum Smith isn't a draw. He doesn't put bums on seats. I don't think he'll sell out a big arena, you know, all those things. But, I mean, we have to be fair. He's the ring recognized #1. A lot of people think he's the #1 super middleweight in the world. So I thought, you know what? The offer maybe just isn't enough, even though it was a 50-50 split, right? So Billy Joe Saunders is going to get exactly what Callum Smith's going to get. So Billy Joe Saunders has signed off and said, you know, I'll accept that. And I personally think that Billy Joe Saunders is a bigger draw. I think he's a bigger name in boxing worldwide than Callum Smith. I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected if anyone has any facts and figures on this, but I think that Billy Joe Saunders is a bigger and more known boxer than Callum Smith. Just my thinking. Anyway, since that clip came out with Joe Gallagher, Frank Warren, or whoever handles Frank Warren's Twitter page, has come out and confirmed that the offer was 7 figures. Now, we don't know where in 7 figures. We don't know if it's 9.999 million or if it's just $1 million. We don't know, but we know worst case scenario, minimum, it's £1 million. Why is £1 million not enough for Callum Smith to have a unification showdown with Billy Joe Saunders? Why is £1 million not enough for Callum Smith to have, I think, his biggest fight ever? I think this is bigger than George Groves. George Groves was done. I think this is bigger. Why is £1 million not enough to try and win another belt? I mean, what does Callum Smith think he's worth? And I guess the problem here is maybe the World Boxing Super Series fight. Now, I heard that money was just ridiculously big, right? And maybe he thinks he's now worth that much. I think £1 million, and again, this is the minimum we're hearing, is more than enough to take on Billy Joe Saunders in what will be a big fight for British boxing. More than enough. Again, Billy Joe Saunders has accepted this. Remember, Frank Warren did confirm it's a 50-50 split. Billy Joe Saunders is happy with £1 million, and we're just saying $1 million here. It could be 2, could be 3. I'm just sticking to the minimum. Billy Joe Saunders has said, you know what, I'll take $1 million. Because Billy Joe Saunders is thinking is that I want a big fight, which he does. He can't get a big fight right now. There's a chance to me to get another belt. And by winning, there's a chance for me to become the #1 super middleweight in the world. So Billy Joe Saunders looks at these 3 things. Why isn't Callum Smith looking at those things? Again, I do go back to the World Boxing Super Series final. That money was very, very big, people. Go and check it out on Google. It was very, very big money. And I just wonder if he now thinks that's the minimum I'm working for. That's the minimum. And I look, if this is the case, then make a counteroffer. Make a counteroffer. Eddie Hearn, make a counteroffer to Billy Joe Saunders, if this is the case. But I, for the life of me, can't understand how $1 million is just too small, not enough, nah. Right? Because, I mean, you go watch that Joe Gallagher clip again on Sky Sports News, and he said it's not even worth talking to Eddie Hearn about. £1 million isn't even worth talking to Eddie Hearn about. Fucking hell. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I say £1 million and I scream at the camera. Minimum. Minimum. Could be a bit more. Why not negotiate? Why not get around the table? Why not say in that clip, instead of saying it's not even worth talking about, why not say, you know what, we'll sit down with Frank and Eddie together and Billy and we'll come together and see what we can do? Why not be more positive? Why be negative and saying, oh, it's just no point. No point for £1 million. Anyway, I thought I'd have to do a follow-up video because I did kind of shoot Frank Warren down yesterday thinking that the offer was a lot less than this, and it isn't. I think it's a fair offer. And I think the reason I do think it's a fair offer, and I've said this already, is because Billy Joe has accepted. If he's accepted, and I don't see any difference between those two, if I'm honest with you. In fact, I said it. I think Billy Joe is a bit higher in terms of publicity and known. or popularity or whatever you wanted to go on. So if he can accept it, sorry, Callum Smith can accept it. Fuck all this talk about I'm the #1 ranked boxer. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean jack shit. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I think in boxing, if you go through all the divisions, it's not always that the #1 in that division is the highest paid. Not at all, in fact. I'd say it's probably 70-30 in favor of 30 being the #1 ranked guy, being the highest paid, and 70 someone else in that division. Just how it is. So, yeah, fingers crossed this fight gets made. Don't know now. Now I'm starting to think of the word D-U-C-K. Peace.